Honda 2000 from a friend of ours. We got an adapter. Where'd it go, Carter?
It is right here.
Stop. Plug this in here. This goes to a 30 amp.
Flat side right there.
Okay. Kind of MacGyvering some stuff. So we got a 110 plug to an adapter to our 30 amp cable to our 50 amp cable. It should plug one side of our, or power one side of our 2 legs of power. That up top so it's a little quieter, and then it plugs into our shore power cable on the side, so we should be able to flip to shore and have some shore power.
Can you flip to shore?
Yes. There you go.
The hertz went on.
See, these jumped up, so we got shore power.
How much can we do though?
Like one thing.
Why do we have the generator out up top instead of in front like we were thinking of doing?
So this is a gasoline generator, and gasoline can put off carbon monoxide.
And that's bad for us, right?
So with this window open, any breeze would blow it inside the boat. We don't want to feel it. So I've got it up top, up high, and so any wind it'll blow will blow it off the back.
So it won't even get us.
Shouldn't bother us at all. It's also quieter up top, and we've got carbon monoxide detectors, so it should protect us as well.
Okay, and a lot of people want to know, explain to me why this is not a permanent solution for you. Because some people in the Bahamas have this.
Yep.
Or not just, some cruisers have this as their permanent solution.
For a couple reasons. One, you have to haul around more gasoline. I'm not a fan of hauling around a bunch of gasoline. It's flammable, explodes. I have a few containers for my dinghy. If I have to run one of these all the time and have to look for fuel, when I'm cruising remote, I love that my boat holds 600 gallons of diesel and that I can flip on the generator. This generator here also can run my whole boat as far as multiple ACs, a water maker, battery charger. I'm going to start getting redundancy by adding solar. We'll get this fixed when everything's working fine. The engine itself and the generator itself are fine. It's all the stuff that bolts on, the cooling system, the water pump, that kind of stuff. So there's no reason to bag this. It still works fine. And then I have 600 gallons of capacity. I can run 3 to 6 months on anchor with that. If you had solar, I could probably go a whole year on a tank. So it's installed, it's working, for the most part. I'll get it fixed. It should be fine. I can't afford lithium right now. In the future, do I want lithium? Yes. I can't afford it right now. So we're picking and choosing what we can do and with what we got. If that makes sense.
We are a family of 5 from Texas who sold everything to live full-time on our 1987 Marine Trader Tradewinds 47. We have 3 boys, Carter, Chase, and Caleb. We also have 2 cats aboard, Cheddar and Tiger. For 2 years, we have enjoyed cruising, exploring, beautiful sunsets, loads of family fun, and brotherly bonding. We also enjoy exploring the water, snorkeling, and diving. In the Florida Keys, the Bahamas, and who knows where to next. We want to say a special thank you to all of our patrons.
We have really good friends here in the Keys, and they watched our video the other day, and they said this must change right now, and they just showed up this morning with a generator for us to, a bigger generator for us to be able to run the boat. So, good people.
Make sure it wasn't wrong when you put it.
That moment. your boat power, you have a lot of times you have a 30 amp or a 50 amp is a real common plug for a boat our size. Some have two 30s, which is what this is a dual 30. We have a 50 amp, looks like that. It's a bigger plug. So that I could take two 30s into a 50. This is just a single 30 into a 50 adapter. So we'll plug this in right here.
Step one of solar installation up in Fort Lauderdale, and we are going to pick it up.
Our destination is on the right.
Our destination's on the right, and we're going to pick up all of our solar panels.
So do you need all this?
Yeah, I have some. In the state of Florida, if you put solar panels on your primary residence, you are exempt from sales tax. All you gotta do is fill out a form. I think we're gonna get a version that looks very similar to that one.
That.
That's
It's 62 inch though.
they're very
It's gonna be
similar.
closer to that one.
Oh, good. All kinds of solar panels here.
Even ones that are very bendy and thin. Even a floor one.
You got it.
Oops. I signed it for me.
That's fine. All kinds of display models, how they get set up.
Watch out, boys.
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.
Sometimes for Chris at work, it's slow and nobody books any excursions. So we get to go out as a family and with the company, and we get to have a great time diving and snorkeling, just us.
Whenever I dive, it always takes me a little while to equalize my ears, but I get it eventually. And also the fish were amazing. There were thousands of them. It was super cool. I love to dive.
Hello and welcome to this week's Talking from Our Aft. I'm pretty uncomfortable because there's a
No, don't say that.
there's a metal bar in my foot.
This is the frame
Move that. We're just getting settled.
for our solar panels.
Okay, so this week we're gonna talk
Video to follow.
about not solar. We're not talking about solar. But this week you got a taste. We picked up our solar panels, and next week we'll show you more installation. But this week we're going to talk about something important, very important.
I would say we talked about it, and we think it's one of the most important things you could possibly think through when it comes to living this lifestyle, especially if you're going to cruise and be on anchor.
I think it's the number one most important thing. Number one.
And that is what anchor you choose and your ground tackle.
Ground tackle, 100%.
The reason
100%.
this has been brought to our mind is because last night,
24 hours ago.
we almost got hit by a boat that was dragging through our anchorage.
And this is not the first boat that drug through our anchorage.
2-3 weeks ago, we had it happen. We had it happen in the Bahamas, where we woke up at 2 a.m. with a boat that was dragging into us.
Yep.
Mind you, we have never drug. That being said, we drug one time. When we first bought the boat, and you go back in our videos and watch, and guess what we did?
We bought a brand new anchor.
Yeah. And that is an anchor we still to this day swear by. And let me say this. They don't pay us anything.
No.
I get nothing from this company to recommend them.
We didn't even get a discount. Not even a penny off.
I paid full price for this anchor.
And we would pay full price
again.
2 times over. Again.
Easy. All right.
Okay, so let's back up real quick and give a quick story. Let me give like a quick 20 seconds. When we first bought the boat, we had a Fortress anchor
Let's
on
back
our
up.
boat.
It wasn't a Fortress.
Danforth.
It was a Danforth.
It's raining.
It is good.
A Danforth. I'm sorry. Isn't a Fortress
Let
style?
me know if you can't close the front hatch, buddy.
No,
So,
too tall.
I gotta go close the hatch.
Can
I'll be right back.
It doesn't matter what kind. Just a real quick story.
Either one of those will work.
We're not dogging that anchor. It's a fine anchor for what it's for, but it's not for like living aboard and spinning 360 in your anchorage and wind shifting. Like, it's not great for like resetting. Resetting is what we talk about.
It's a what I would call a good storm anchor. If you know what direction you're coming from and you set it, that sucker ain't gonna move.
Okay.
We use it on our workboat,
Right.
and it's a fine anchor. So I'm not talking bad about that anchor.
Right.
But when you're
Living full time.
when you're set this way, and your boat's dragging this way, it's good. But then if your boat turns around the other direction and it wants to go that way, it flops over and it can kind of float across the bottom like this. Oh, that's cool looking. It can kind of float across the bottom and it doesn't necessarily reset. The boat that we had almost hit us last night, when they pulled their anchor finally, it was covered in weeds because the way it was designed.
Well, it was like this big compared to their boat.
It was definitely undersized. But I'm sure there's guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we'll talk about that somewhere else.
Medium guy.
So it has issues when it comes to, in our opinion, the Liveaboard, sleep on the anchor, spinning around on your anchor, high winds.
So let me explain why I think the anchor and ground tackle are the number one most important thing, because we were talking about this, and I told Chris, if you want to live on your boat, if you're not moving or traveling and you just want to live on your boat, I'm currently living on my boat in the Florida Keys. If my engines don't work, I can still live on my boat just fine. If my generator part isn't in, I can still live on my boat just fine. The batteries need to be charged. I brought in portable generators, all that different stuff. But I must be able to know my boat will stay where I want it to stay.
Yep.
And that's why I think ground tackle, chain, ground tackle includes your chain and your anchor and all the parts involved. I think that is the most important thing that you must buy for a liveaboard boat.
So, as Jolene mentioned, ground tackle is all that. You have your anchor, and then you have the part that goes from your anchor to your boat, and that's called rode. Okay? You can have a chain rode, or you can have a line or rope rode.
And if a rope on a boat is called a line.
A line, exactly. So, we believe in, especially now we're talking about a cruising boat. So we're talking about a probably 35 to 50 foot monohull catamaran trawler.
Yeah.
In our belief, you should have a good, I would say, oversized anchor along with solid chain rode. No rope or line at all, in my opinion.
No.
And the main reason for that is if there's twofold. One is if you're in an anchorage that has coral heads and you swing around, that line can start to chafe and it can break. So that it's just weaker than chain. The other thing is when you set an anchor, so I can do this. You set it, and then the anchor, the chain helps that to dig in, and the weight pulls that down and helps to set it, if that makes sense. Road line doesn't have that, so you'll see most people that have a line rode, it's a anchor with say 10 to 20 feet of chain, and then it's rode.
Please don't do that.
And it works for if you have a smaller boat, if it's a day boat, if you're anchoring for like the afternoon, a couple hours.
Day boats, afternoon.
We have that for our big 65-foot catamaran excursion. It's fine because we anchor for an hour or two. We want to go to bed and know that we're not going to move.
If you live aboard your boat and travel anywhere, I'm sorry, I will disagree with you all day long if you tell me that you use line anywhere on your road. I feel like you need to make that investment and buy chain. 100% chain, 100%.
This is our opinion. So I know we've been kind of beating around the bush, but we have a Mantus anchor.
Yes.
Okay.
Best anchor on the market, Mantus anchor. Buy a Mantus anchor. They don't pay me. Buy a Mantus anchor.
I'm telling you, we've sat in anywhere from 25 to 45 knot winds.
I think we've hit up to 50s.
Okay, and we've spun a 360. We've started one direction and then been pulled the other direction. I'm telling you, the main thing with this anchor is it resets itself quickly. So if it unsets and comes loose, it resets very, very quickly.
And if you don't believe us, go to Mantus and check out their videos.
Go to their website and watch all their test videos.
And those test videos are absolutely 100% accurate. 100%.
Yeah, I have no reason to doubt them. The other thing is, everywhere in the Florida Keys, in intercoastal Florida, Bahamas, you're dealing with sand with seagrass or muck. Yeah. Even with the seagrass, I've had no problem setting my anchor and burying my anchor, no problem. It grabs. The only time we've ever had an issue was when I was setting in an area that was like washed away and it was slate, it was stone.
Slate.
It doesn't matter what anchor you have, it's not going to set there.
But that's when we relied on our chain.
It does.
The weight.
But I moved over. I got the set. We had about 4 inches of sand over slate, so it's still set. But that's where the chain is so important. All that extra weight of chain laying out held us in addition to the anchor. Right. Just the weight of the chain is a big deal. It really, really is. It helps to hold your boat. It takes a strain off of your anchor. So even a not as good anchor as a Mantus will hold better with more chain. The trick is if you flip in the middle of the night because of tide change or wind shift, a Mantus resets better than any anchor we've ever seen. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. And if they recommend a 45-pound anchor, get the 55-pound. I don't care what anchor you have. Upsize it. If you're going to live on the boat, get the next size up.
We have the largest anchor.
I believe it's the largest.
For commercial, not
for just standard
right,
production.
Without having it like custom made.
It's a 105-pound Mantus anchor, and I'm telling you, we sleep like a baby every single night. It does not move.
Never worried.
It does not move.
In fact, when there's bad storms, I'm looking around for other people to be moving.
Yeah, we're more worried about other people. We also have a Mantus hook for our snubber line, and it's a great piece of equipment. I would also recommend that as well. Again, they don't pay us anything. This is just our experience. We really have loved this stuff, and honestly, the only time I'm going to care if you actually bought a Mantus or not is if you're anchored out in front of me. Right. Other than that, I don't care what you buy. You buy whatever you want. If you're going to anchor out in front of me, please buy a Mantus. Okay?
With all that being said, this has actually gotten to be pretty long, so I'm going to leave a link for Mantus below in case you want to buy one. Can't give you a discount. I don't get anything for it. And then if you want more information about anchoring or ground tackle, we have a video I'll leave a link for below as well about anchoring and different ways to anchor in storms. Yep. Anything else last minute?
I think that's it. But don't shy away from that investment. I'm telling you, the extra couple $1,000 you spend to buy the appropriate anchor versus being aground. We had a boat last night. They were within 100 yards of being aground, and they could have lost their boat. I mean, you can't see it right now because it's dark, but there's 6 boats behind me that are
desolate,
half underwater or wrecked or washed up ashore. So spend the money on the appropriate ground tackle.
Yep.
And get the right size. Do all chain if you can. You will not regret it. I promise.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you have any other questions, feel free to email, call, text, Instagram. Don't call. Instagram, Facebook, all the things, and we will try our best to get back to you. Other than that,
Remember, enjoy the journey.
with the Mantus anchor.
With the Mantus anchor, you'll enjoy it more.